Hey there, fellow Gen Xers, all the rebels and latchkey kids out there. Let's be real. Haven't we worked enough already? Remember when we thought we'd never get old? We were rocking out to Nirvana, watching The Breakfast Club, and convinced retirement was only for boomers. For those of us born between 1965 and 1980, if you're tired of waiting for someday to finally enjoy life, then you're in the right place. In this video, we're giving you some tips on how to quit work way sooner than you ever thought possible.
But don't panic. If you're a Gen Xer like us and you're wondering how to retire early without relying on a shaky social security system, if it's even there when we need it, we've got you covered. Stick around because we've got a killer checklist to help you retire in style. Later in this video, we're going to expose the biggest trap that Gen Xers fall into that secretly delays their retirement by years.
So grab yourself a Zima, if you remember what those are, and let's rock. I'm Mark.
And I'm Kendra.
And we're Ink Nomads Worldwide, a tattooed couple in our early 50s who are looking to retire and travel the world. First things first, let's talk about what retirement actually looks like for you. At what age can you realistically retire? Are you dreaming of slow traveling like us? Sipping margaritas on the beach, starting a passion project, or just relaxing at home and maybe hitting some golf balls? Most Gen Xers are pretty adaptable and go with the flow, but that can be tricky when planning for retirement.
That's true. Retirement looks different for everybody, and it's okay if you're not sure what that is yet for you. Once you figure it out, though, the more specific you can be, the better you can plan. Do you want to work part-time, retire early, move abroad? Write it all down, visualize it. Let's make it happen. Planning is crucial for success because if you don't set a vision, you might just end up drifting into retirement instead of owning it. Our generation usually approaches things with a realistic and risk-averse mindset, balancing ambition with a sense of caution. Good things to have when planning for your retirement.
We know math isn't sexy, but neither is being broke at 70. Remember when your teachers would tell you wouldn't always have a calculator in your pocket? Lies. Everything is right here. Luckily, we have this because you need to calculate how much you'll actually need to retire.
Now, a general rule is aiming for about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income. But if you plan to move somewhere more affordable like us, you might not need as much. Use a retirement calculator and get a real estimate. And don't forget inflation. Your dollars today won't stretch as far as they did 20 years ago. Just think though, 20 years ago, we thought the world would be like the Jetsons with flying cars and Rosie the robot.
Oh wait, AI is really making that happen now.
That's true. Thanks, Elon.
Now let's talk about something that really separates us from our parents. They had pensions, long-term job security, and affordable housing. Many worked for the same company for decades and retired with a nice pension and Social Security benefits that actually meant something. Meanwhile, Gen X was handed the short end of the stick. Pensions practically extinct. Job security, a joke. Housing prices sky high. We were told to save for retirement through 401ks and IRAs, but we've had to weather multiple economic crashes, stagnant wages, and skyrocketing health costs.
So if your job does offer a 401k, an IRA, or a Roth IRA, now's the time to contribute as much as you can. And if your job offers a match, take full advantage. It's free money. Distributing your investing strategies will pay off in retirement. And if you're self-employed, there are solo 401ks and IRAs that work just as well. Just don't wait. Compound interest is your best friend, but only if you start early. Take advantage of high yield savings accounts, make money on your money. So yeah, we adapted. We started side hustles, embraced remote work, and figured out how to retire our way on our own terms. Because if there's one thing Gen Xers do best, it's finding a way to survive and thrive.
Speaking of ninjas, chances are you spent your childhood convinced that ninjas were a legitimate career path. Between American Ninja, Enter the Ninja, my personal favorite, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, totally ridiculous, yet totally awesome. Cowabunga, dude. But getting back to debt, it is the biggest roadblock to financial freedom. Focus on paying off high-interest debt first, like credit cards. Make sure to stay tuned till the end when we discuss the biggest financial trap that Gen Xers fall into all the time.
all the time. Now, after you take care of those big things, tackle car loans, student loans, and your mortgage if possible. The less debt you carry into retirement, the more you enjoy your freedom. Now, imagine not having a mortgage or a credit card bill. Pure financial bliss. Now, we paid off our cars a few years back, and it has been great not having that extra payment. Now, speaking of student loans, I have a bone to pick. I had a few going through college, and I paid them off over the years the right way to do it. We didn't have student loan forgiveness. What a joke. If you borrow the money, you gotta pay it back.
Gen Xers had a childhood that was basically unsupervised, riding BMX bikes without helmets and pads, drinking straight from the garden hose, and staying out until the streetlights came on. Safety regulations, overrated. Supervision, minimal. Oh, those were the days when you never had to think about medical expenses. But now they are one of the biggest costs in retirement. If you're in the US, medical care can be quite expensive, even with insurance. So look into health savings accounts and plan your Medicare if you're over 65.
True. And if you're considering retiring abroad, like we are, research the healthcare options in different countries. Places like Portugal, Thailand, and even Mexico, believe it or not, have high quality healthcare at a fraction of the US cost. Look into Nomad or Travelers Health Insurance if you're not covered by a traditional plan. Now, the best thing to do is prioritize your health now. Stay healthy and fit, so as you age, you hopefully don't require too much care.
Let's talk about some affordable dream destinations. Portugal, low cost of living, excellent healthcare, and the European charm, even though now it's getting a little bit crowded. Thailand, a retiree's paradise with an incredibly low cost of living. Mexico, vibrant culture, warm weather, and affordable healthcare. And our favorite, Vietnam, where we're heading first. Amazing food, friendly locals, and super affordable.
Now, if you want to stay in the US, check out states like Tennessee, North Carolina, and even Florida. They don't have state income tax and they have way lower living costs.
Do you really need a 4-bedroom house once the kids move out? Do you even need kids?
You don't.
Nowadays, the kids never want to move out. Shit. They never even want to leave, period. It's all the high-tech video games, virtual reality, and FaceTime. Back in our day, we loved to go to the mall, hang out with our friends, no social media, no TikTok, just cruising the food court, playing arcade games, and trying to hook up. That built character. We couldn't wait to move out of our parents' house. So get those kids out and downsize. Downsizing can save you thousands in taxes, utilities, and maintenance.
Plus, selling unnecessary stuff puts extra cash in your pocket. I'm like a broken record. Check out our last video on side hustles where I talk about all of that. Now, minimalism isn't just a trend, it's a retirement hack that you can embrace.
Hopefully, Social Security isn't going away, but the longer you wait to collect, the more you get. If you can hold out until 70, your monthly check could be 32% higher than if you took it at 62. But weigh your options because some may work better for others.
True. But if you do need it earlier, take it strategically. Know your options, plan ahead, and as always, talk to a financial advisor.
Okay, now the moment you have been waiting for, the biggest financial trap that most Gen Xers fall into without even realizing it. We like to call it the lifestyle creep. And no, I'm not talking about that weirdo in the van near the schoolyard. This happens when you increase income over time, but instead of saving or investing extra money, you gradually upgrade your lifestyle. Let's be real for a second. Haven't we all fallen into this trap at some point? Yes. You get a raise, a bonus, maybe even a promotion, and suddenly you're upgrading your car, your house, better vacations, because, well, you deserve it, right?
Yes, we do deserve it. No, but it's subtle at first, but that's what makes it so dangerous. Oh yeah, it starts so small. First, it's let's get a nicer couch. Then suddenly we have a coffee subscription or a smart fridge that actually talks to us and I can see on my phone. Somehow we're justifying and upgrading everything else too.
Exactly. And before you know it, your expenses have crept way up. So even though you're making more money, you're actually not saving anymore. Every extra dollar spent on lifestyle upgrades is a dollar not invested in your future. Instead of growing wealth, you're spending it on things that lose value instantly, like that brand new car you just drove off the lot.
Instantly loses like $10,000, they say, right? Now, it's sneaky. It's not like one big reckless splurge. It's a bunch of tiny little upgrades that feel normal at the time. But here's the problem. The more you spend to maintain that upgraded life, the more money you need in retirement to keep it going. So stop keeping up with the Joneses.
And that's where it gets dangerous, because instead of using that extra income to escape the rat race sooner, you're basically just building yourself a fancier cage.
I like that. Oh boy, that's depressing. So what do we do about this?
Well, first, don't upgrade every time you get a raise. Instead of thinking, hey, we can afford a bigger house, think, hey, we can afford to retire sooner.
Yes.
Big difference.
Way bigger difference for sure. Yes. And honestly, living below our means is so freeing. Like the minute we stopped worrying about keeping up with some of our imaginary versions of success, that we realized we didn't need half the stuff we were spending our money on.
Right on. We paid off our debt, stopped wasting money on things that didn't actually make us happier, and focused on investing that extra money instead.
And now, no car payments, no stress. Well, a little stress. And we're out here planning
We're still at work.
We are still working, but we're planning our early retirement adventures instead of working another 10 to 15 years just to fund more stuff.
So there's the takeaway. If you want to retire early, don't let lifestyle creep steal your future. Keep your expenses low, invest the difference, and you'll be shocked how much sooner you can quit your job.
So stop being a creep.
We are the hardest working generation. Seriously, we survived latchkey childhoods, dial-up internet, and corporate downsizing. But guess what? Early retirement is possible if you play it smart.
The real insider Gen X secret, we don't have to play by the old rules. This isn't our parents' retirement. We're the DIY, side hustling, never gonna grow up MTV generation. Retirement isn't the end. It's time for our encore.
Cutting those expenses, investing wisely, and building passive income can get you there faster than you think. And let's be honest, do you really want to spend the next 20 years trapped in endless Zoom meetings?
I don't want to be cleaning teeth for 20
or stocking
years.
shelves.
Start testing out what excites you now, though. So when you do come to retirement, you're not stuck wondering what to do with yourself, because let's be real, our generation was never meant to fade quietly into the background.
So there you have it, our Gen X retirement checklist. It's never too late to start planning, but the sooner you take action, the better your future will look.
If you found this video to be interesting or helpful, make sure to like us, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our adventures or maybe some more fun financial tips.
And tell us in the comments, where do you dream of retiring? We'd love to hear your plans.
Hopefully it's somewhere nice and warm too. Now, until next time, as we always say, keep exploring.
Keep inking.
And we'll catch you on the next one.